Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am so incredibly excited to have you here today. Because, let's be honest, we really need to cut through the noise, right? We're going to push past the sensational headlines and the endless buzzwords to uncover what is actually happening with enterprise AI on the ground, right now. If you've been keeping an eye on a tech space, you already know artificial intelligence is dominating the conversation. But there is this massive, glaring gap between the hype we hear about and the day-to-day operational reality inside most organizations. So today we are going to rely on some freshly released data, including Deloitte's 2026 State of AI in the Enterprise report, plus some really groundbreaking academic research on predictive analytics to demystify this whole landscape. We're going to look at the cold, hard facts, what's working, what's totally failing, and how the most successful organizations are actually achieving true business reimagination.
All right, let's just dive right into this with a number that should absolutely make you stop and think. 50%. According to the latest data, basic worker access to AI tools skyrocketed by a staggering 50% in the year 2025 alone. But, access is just the tip of the iceberg here. What's truly wild is that the number of companies moving at least 40% of their AI projects out of the lab and into full-scale production, that is expected to double in just the next 6 months. So we are officially no longer talking about a few isolated pilot programs or sandbox experiments. We are talking about a massive, accelerated rollout happening across literally every layer of the enterprise.
So here's our roadmap for today's journey. 1. The AI tipping point. 2. What AI actually does. 3. The preparedness paradox. 4. Data, talent, and governance. And 5. True business reimagination.
Let's start right at the top with Section 1, the AI tipping point.
Like we just mentioned, this sudden production surge is completely redefining the timeline of digital transformation. Companies are officially moving out of the pilot phase, and they are stepping on the gas pedal hard. But here is the critical context we have to keep in mind. Scaling AI isn't like rolling out a standard software update. When a company doubles its production scale AI projects in a 6-month window, it is fundamentally altering its operational DNA. This rapid acceleration means that the IT infrastructure, the workforce, and the leadership are all being stress tested at the exact same time. It's really a make-or-break moment. It's where the theoretical promise of artificial intelligence slams into the unforgiving reality of corporate execution.
Moving right along to Section 2, what AI actually does.
When you look at the sheer magnitude of the performance improvements, the numbers really speak for themselves. 70% of organizations reported faster decision-making, and 65% achieved better forecast accuracy. We aren't talking about marginal single-digit gains here. These are massive structural leaps in efficiency. Think about it. When a business can forecast demand with 65% more accuracy, that translates into fewer stockouts, way less wasted inventory, and a massively optimized supply chain. And the benefits just keep going. 60% are experiencing enhanced real-time monitoring, and 58% are reporting much better risk detection. The academic research makes it undeniable. When AI is deployed correctly, the operational boosts are just staggering. But, okay, here's where the story gets a bit complicated. Deloitte has identified this massive issue they call the reimagination trap. The breakdown goes like this. A full 37% of companies are only using AI at a surface level. They're making minor tweaks with very little change to their actual existing processes. Another 30% are redesigning key processes, but only a minority, just 34%, are actually going in and deeply transforming and reinventing their business models. So, despite all that massive performance potential we literally just talked about, nearly 2/3 of organizations are caught in a trap of mere optimization. They're just paving the cow paths, basically using revolutionary technology to do the exact same things, just a little bit faster.
That perfectly sets up Section 3, the preparedness paradox.
The crucial tension we are seeing in the enterprise space is right here. On one side, boardroom confidence is sky high, with 42% feeling strategically prepared, which, by the way, is a number that's actually up from last year. Executive leadership is ambitious and totally ready to go. But on the flip side, the operational reality is seriously lagging behind. They admit they are just not prepared when it comes down to their tech infrastructure, their data management, and their talent pools. And this is the preparedness paradox. The vision is absolutely there, but the foundation is cracking. And as AI use cases get more and more advanced, this gap between ambition and reality is becoming really dangerous. Let's zoom in on one specific super high-stakes area where this paradox is playing out in real time: agent AI. We aren't just talking about basic customer service chatbots anymore. We're talking about autonomous AI agents that can take actions, book flights, manage complex supply chains, and execute workflows completely without human intervention. Usage of these agents is poised to absolutely surge over the next 2 years. Yet, the data reveals that only 1 in 5 companies actually has a mature governance model in place for autonomous AI. Let that sink in for a second. We're essentially handing over the keys to systems that can act on our behalf, but 80% of organizations don't have the guardrails, the auditing processes, or the oversight mechanisms mature enough to manage them safely.
And this paradox gets even more intense when AI leaves the software realm entirely and enters the physical world. AI is no longer just lines of code on a screen, it's actual hardware. In manufacturing, it's collaborative robots, or cobots, working right alongside humans on the factory floor. In retail, it's intelligent, real-time monitoring. In defense, it's autonomous drones and highly complex digital twins. More than half of companies report at least limited use of physical AI today, and that number is expected to hit 80% in just 2 short years. If your operational readiness is already lagging for software AI, imagine the absolute complexity of managing an autonomous fleet of logistics robots. The stakes are getting physical.
Let's dig into the roadblocks in Section 4, Data, Talent, and Governance.
So, what is actually holding us back here? It's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? If the strategy is clearly there in the boardroom and the technology is undeniably powerful, what are the specific, on-the-ground realities that are stalling true transformation?
Well, the academic research exposes the hidden villains of our story pretty clearly. The biggest issue by far is data. 63% of respondents identify poor data quality as their major challenge. Incomplete, inconsistent, and siloed data will utterly degrade AI model effectiveness. It's like you simply cannot build a modern AI skyscraper on a swamp of messy data. It doesn't work. Next up, 54% cite high implementation costs. Just the sheer expense of infrastructure upgrades and software licensing. And sitting right behind that, 49% point to massive talent shortages. Organizations just cannot find the professionals who possess both the deep technical AI expertise and the specific business domain knowledge required to make these projects actually work.
And speaking of that talent shortage, let's look at how companies are attempting to fix it. According to the Deloitte report, 53% are focused on just educating the broader workforce to raise overall AI fluency. Now, education is fantastic, but we need to look at the bottom of that priority list. Only 33% are actually redesigning career paths, and even fewer are structurally reimagining workflows to integrate AI. Do you see the problem? Most companies are treating the symptoms by offering some basic training sessions, rather than curing the disease by fundamentally re-architecting how work actually gets done. If you just sprinkle a little AI education over legacy organizational charts, you are going to stay totally stuck in that surface-level reimagination trap we talked about earlier.
Which leads us to our final section, number 5, True Business Reimagination.
Okay, here is the ultimate blueprint for bridging that readiness gap. These are the success factors identified by the experts, and let me tell you, the consensus is overwhelming. 90% of experts agree on the absolute non-negotiable foundation, a robust data infrastructure. Without a highly scalable, unified data strategy that breaks down departmental silos, your AI initiatives will fail. It is honestly that simple. Another 90% heavily emphasize alignment with business KPIs. AI cannot just be a cool science experiment. It has to solve actual, measurable business problems. And 85% highlight cross-functional collaboration. Your technical experts absolutely must be seamlessly integrated with the business professionals. This right here is the blueprint for moving from a shiny pilot project to actual enterprise-wide transformation.
And that really brings us to the ultimate prize, which is beautifully captured in this concept. The most successful organizations out there truly understand that the goal of enterprise AI isn't about replacing humans. It's about creating complementary working partnerships where the combined output far exceeds what either the human or the AI could achieve completely alone. True business reimagination happens when organizational structures flatten out, the routine execution tasks are fully absorbed by AI, and human workers are finally freed up to focus on high-level judgment, strategic oversight, and exception handling. It's all about building a living, breathing AI backbone where the technology and your workforce evolve together, hand in hand. So I want to leave you with a thought, really a question to ask yourself and your teams. Take a hard look at your own operational reality. Are you stuck in the preparedness paradox, just paving the cowpaths with surface-level tweaks? Or are you doing the hard, foundational work, fixing the data infrastructure, redesigning workflows, and implementing mature governance to truly reimagine your future? The tipping point is behind us, folks, and the production surge is already here.
The choices you make in the next 6 months are going to determine who leads for the next decade. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I highly encourage you to take these insights back to your organization and start asking the hard questions today.